FBI and the DOJ are making it clear they're not just taking Biden's word for it. They're actively conducting their own investigation on the ground, an investigation which clearly began right after the first documents were found in November, well before some on the right began complaining about unfair treatment and no search. Now, not surprisingly, I've gotten some pushback on this take, so let's talk to someone with a different perspective. Joining us now is Tom Davis, former Republican congressman from Virginia, who served as the chairman of the House Oversight Committee. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Really appreciate it. So what am I getting wrong?
Well, I think you're getting it right, but you've got to understand when they discovered these documents on Trump's property, the president came out and said this was irresponsible, that he took these things. And at that point, he kind of painted himself in a corner. And voters don't do nuance very well. So what you have here is really all about politics. There are certainly differences between this. But at this point, prosecuting the president, the former president, when, in light of where the voters see this thing, is going to be very, very difficult. They painted themselves in a corner because the initial White House reaction just trying to stick it to Trump.
I think that's true in terms of a potential prosecution. But let me ask you this. I think there's now an argument that Trump has been treated so much better. And I'm curious what you think of this. Better because they haven't searched all of his homes, right? As far as we know. As far as we know, it's only Biden who's had every one of his homes and office searched. And yet when it comes to Trump, they went to Mar-a-Lago, but they haven't gone to Bedminster or to Trump Tower, et cetera.
Well, they don't have a right to go anywhere else. They had to get a warrant to go to Mar-a-Lago. So they had to go before a federal judge.
Right.
They had somebody that had leaked this. If they got that for Bedminster, I'm sure they would go there. So I don't know that there's unequal treatment. Look,
well, why not? Why not? Why shouldn't Trump invite them the same way that Biden allowed them to go look? Why not allow them to go look in his other properties? You know, he wouldn't just allow them, right?
Of course he wouldn't, and neither would you or anybody else.
Biden did.
The president, sure, because he got painted into a corner on this thing, and now he wants to show how much he is cooperating because it got caught. Look, I've got a feeling going way back, and look, the Records Act was under my jurisdiction as chairman of the committee. This isn't the first time this has happened in history. But I think because they knew some of these documents existed, Trump had them, and because he wasn't forthcoming, they felt forced to go after it. And look, at you faced with the optics of one administration going into the home of a former president and candidate for the president. Optics look terrible around the world. Yep. It looks like a third world country. But I understand the frustrations. There's a lot we don't know, and that's why you have special counsel looking at this. But right now, it's a political football. And as I said, voters don't do nuance very well.
Do you think it's fair, though, that I have said that they are not remotely comparable? When I hear people on Fox News repeatedly saying, well, why didn't they go raid Joe Biden? Why didn't they? The answers to that are obvious, right? I mean, it's not complicated.
Yeah, they are clearly different. As I said, they're significantly different. But voters don't do nuance very well, as you know. You read the headlines, you go after this. And because of what the president said initially about being irresponsible, he's painted himself in this corner at this point.
Yep. Tom Davis, thank you for coming on the program. Appreciate the conversation. I really hope you come back.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.